People,
What's up?
we're having these.
I've got a mouthful.
No,
Not the
some of
greatest.
us are having those. I'm not even.
Brewed if anybody needs coffee.
Some of
there
us
any
are having
sugar over
these.
No. There's some in the pantry.
Hey, can you,
in the house and get some?
I will do. You know what? I've had enough sugar for this evening.
You have had.
Baked donuts
Just,
and Kit Kat.
just set a Kit Kat in there and let it melt.
Just the
could do that.
you could just have the cake donut just soak in.
There you go.
Just drop it in.
Oh. I'm buzzing.
Oh yeah, that's us.
Hey, that's us. All right, turn your phones down.
We did it.
All right, we're gonna get started here. At what? We'll do it at a minute on the timer down there at the bottom. Everybody ready to roll?
Rocking.
Rocking and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what I added to the
Nope.
thing?
Rocking and
Okay.
rolling.
I wrote down Dune to talk about Dune.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go. 5, 4. Welcome to the Pop Goes the Culture podcast for Friday, October the 29th. The coffee maker's beeping. We are right on time. Hell, what are the odds of us actually starting right on time?
Do we have to disarm something? Or
Yes.
you didn't tell us that, Joey.
Well, my name is Joey Mills, and man, I've been catching up on all the cool Halloween stuff that's streaming right now. I watched Night Teeth on Netflix. Did anybody check that out yet?
What is that?
What's that?
It is a movie about... I'm not going to spoil anything. It's about vampires in L.A. It's about a guy that's hired to drive a couple gals around that are vampires. And I won't spoil what goes on.
yeah.
I think I've seen a trailer for it.
It's pretty fun.
Is
And
this
then...
a Bret
Try that again?
Bret Easton Ellison book or something? Or
No, it's not. No.
It sounds like one of his stories.
No, just because it's in L.A. No. There's significantly fewer drugs than any of his books have.
There's some vampires.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Watched the end of the season of Creepshow. The finale came out this week.
I've not watched the finale yet.
The finale is pretty fun.
I am catching up though.
The first half, it's funny because it's really political in ways you don't expect necessarily. And the second half actually takes place like during Night of the Living Dead. It takes place in 1968. It's filmed in black and white. There's like radio and TV shows going on talking about news reports of what's going on. And the show doesn't really reference what's going on much. It does towards the end, but so that's pretty fun. And I watched Horror Noir on Shudder. It came out this week, which is 6. It's an anthology, and it's just 6 of them right in a row. So it's like 2.5 hours long, but it was pretty good. The last one of that one was like the first few were kind of spooky, serious, but then the last one was like funny.
Okay.
So they ended it on a positive, which is good. Dusty is sitting over here, and Jess, what's going on, guys?
Ew.
You get your bear?
No. I did not. I gave up on it actually.
We were hoping for some good bear stories.
Yeah.
when you got
He
back.
didn't take your phone number?
I don't think very many people have got one.
Did you ever hear what the number was?
I didn't check it.
The last
it's over
time
now.
you-
It was
yeah.
like 7. So
It wasn't very many.
Yeah.
So it's
You got a better chance of hitting one with your car than you do.
probably.
yeah,
good.
I'm
yes.
sure.
Yes.
You guys have been watching Chapel Wait, and you weren't here last week to talk about it. Did you catch the finale?
We finished it. Yeah.
We did.
What'd you guys think?
I think there's going to be more.
You think so?
I think so. Just on how the ending was with the
Because at the end, they're like, we'll see you next season.
no, with
They
the
kind of did, though.
but it's just like with the surgery that the doctor was, from what they were saying, is the book was implanted
his
inside.
belly.
I don't think it was. I think the doctor ended up taking the book. That's my opinion, and he thinks it's inside of him, and he's going to be pretty pissed off when he figures out it's not there, and he comes back, and he's been gone away from his family.
I thought the book was just put inside. I didn't.
I don't think it was.
Okay.
I don't know. I just have a thought that it's not there.
Not there?
It's not there.
What'd you guys think of the way they wrapped up that series and the series, whatever they decided to do with it?
It was predictable,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually like movies that are not happily ever after. I mean, that really
Yeah.
wasn't a happily
No,
ever
yeah,
after, but it was like, oh, he got Loa back, and
Spoilers.
sorry about that. But
Just kidding. It's been a couple weeks now.
But no, I just I don't know.
Are you
I think
hypnoptized by your pop socket on your
it's
phone?
a
there?
fidget thing.
Okay.
So I think it was a predictable just because of how him, just the whole thing in general.
Yeah.
I think it was predictable. I like the not so happy endings to movies.
What'd
I
you
like
Dusty?
happy endings.
Yeah, it's something totally different. We'll save that for another show.
I mean,
Just started.
the book is it would be over, right? According to the book.
Well, there was a book and there's a short story, and this is based on the short story. And based on the short story, has nothing in common with the short story whatsoever, other than like.
Creamer Inky Boy says we're cutting out and freezing.
Well, hey,
Hello, daughter of mine.
Oh, well.
that's probably her internet, not us. Then
Could be.
well, it's okay. So you guys, it was all right then.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, there could be a season 2.
Yeah, they could.
But-
They could always stretch them out as long as they wanted to.
I
What
kind of
a-
hope that there is.
Yeah, we'll see.
But it needs to be a little more thrilling, I think.
Yeah, it was,
No,
it was
I
a
agree.
slow.
There was a lot of dead time
Yeah.
in that series.
whole lot of doing nothing
Yeah, to sit around waiting for the
stuff to happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
agree.
liked it. It just wasn't. It seemed like there was a lot of filler of like nothing.
Yeah, there was 8 or 9 episodes. It probably could have been 6.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pretty easily.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. What else you guys been up to?
I watched 2/3 of Dune.
All
'cause
right,
it's like
well,
what 3 hours long or something.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
I made it through 2/3 of it
I
and
made
then
it
fell
through-
asleep.
Like, not even the intro. I fell asleep.
What else did we watch? We finished. We watched Old.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that?
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know how he does with his stories.
Right,
Like,
there's twists. And
well,
tries to take you one way, but it's going a different
It's
he
like
direction.
tries to
moral-
convince you that what is happening is okay.
Right.
That's how he does. And then I don't want to spoil it, but it's
Right.
good.
It
It's worth watching.
It just like makes you think in a moral way.
Mhm.
If it was morally right,
Okay.
And that's kind of like how his movies
Yeah.
have been.
Kind of like The Village.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like there's a good.
Is that the name of it? The Village.
Yeah.
Okay.
Village.
He has good reasoning.
The Happening.
But if you watch it, it's worth the $5 you got to pay to rent it or whatever.
Lady in the Lake.
No, that's not so good.
No.
Next to Dusty over there is Kenny. What's going on, man?
Hi, I'm good.
I'm guessing you saw the Masters of the Universe Revelation trailer for Part 2 coming out
Yeah.
in November. What'd you think of that? Do you think it gave away too much? I was kind of like, you could have held some of that back and maybe
Yeah.
surprised us.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe it was something they had to do just because everybody poo-pooed on the first part of it. That they're like, okay, so we got some
We gotta
stuff
give 'em a
for
trailer
you,
here,
you
yeah.
know, stuff. So I didn't put much thought into it because truth be told, I'll forget all that. So
Yeah.
it won't be that big a deal.
And who knows? I mean, they like to use flashbacks and other gimmicks like that in their storytelling too. So it could be that they're showing us stuff that isn't happening the way it looks like it's
yeah,
happening. So
and I could see that too. I mean, with all the things that happened in the first half, I mean, gosh, who knows what they've got, and especially that everybody in the thing that they've interviewed is like, oh, you just wait, we've
Yeah.
got some stuff for you. So
right on.
I mean, even the cast and everything's excited about it. So
Yeah, it looks like this is the more of the action stuff that people were wanting out of the first few episodes. The first few was setting it all up.
Yeah.
And it looks like now we're going to get the action stuff. What else you been up to in the last week or so?
You know, honestly, we are
Playing with your
trying-
toys. You send me photos of your toys.
Yeah, well, I've been painting stuff because we're having okay. My daughter's having a bunch of people over.
Okay.
And so
For
I've
Halloween? Okay.
And actually tomorrow, or would be today.
But for Halloween, right.
But for Halloween. And so I've been tasked with painting stuff and cleaning stuff and running.
Isn't that what the
and getting
kids are supposed to be doing
Well,
if
I
they
see
want to
that
have people over?
dollhouse. Did you do a dollhouse?
Yeah.
Are you doing one this year
That
too?
was
'Cause
that was pretty neat. I
I know
have
you
to
did one
say.
last year.
The one I did last year was actually for my sister's wedding. That was going to be our wedding present to her. And so I bought 2 more, one in the exact same style and then a different one. So I've got it painted and I'm just waiting on getting all the shrubbery, and I want to try to maybe do some light effects in it and just have a little
That'd
more
be
fun
cool,
with it.
yeah.
And then the other one had all these grand plans for, and my wife's like, so what are we doing with that?
Nice.
And so I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, well, it's got people with it and it's got all the furniture with it. She's like, we could do spider webs and make it look like it's been sitting, and have the people, you could turn them into zombies
Or
and then we could
ghosts or, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, so that one we're keeping.
Right.
The other one I'll probably put for sale here in a few weeks when I'm done with it.
That's cool.
No, I think they looked that one that I seen last year. You did pretty good on that.
A lot of people
Yeah,
loved
I dug
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
I did some Only thing I had at the time were some pops, and so
Right.
I had like Elvira and the monsters and some
Yep.
of them. So I was doing like black and white photos with them and stuff like that. And I actually got Elvira to like it and share it.
Nice.
So then, of course, when she did it, it was just like
Took off.
100, 200,
Yeah.
300. You know,
Yeah.
people just loving it. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Curtis, you sat through all the way through Dune, right?
Yeah.
Are you the only other person besides me here who sat all the way through Dune?
I
just made
I went.
two-thirds.
All right.
I went to the Alamo and I watched.
Did
it.
you? Okay, so
Yeah.
you didn't just
So
watch
you
it at
had
home.
to.
I went to do the experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I took Kirsten, who had no idea what Dune was. She just like, oh, I want to see it. I was like, great, let's go watch it.
Right.
And then we're walking through the Alamo, and we're like, oh, there's the original Dune's poster. And she goes, is that a monster? It's like, it's a sandworm. And suddenly she's like, I don't know if I want to see this.
What?
She's not.
She
into
sat through Beetlejuice, didn't she? She's watched Tremors with you, hasn't she?
No,
Well.
no. There's a lot of stuff I can't get her to watch, but
Wow.
but then we watched it, and
So that's where she draws the line at,
She
huh,
enjoyed
Sandworms?
it.
So she's not a fan of the worm, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
We were
you
pretty high when we
worried.
watched it.
Yeah.
She made it through like 3 minutes and then was asleep. So,
Well, yeah, lightweight.
so she hasn't seen,
Beginning of it.
she
any
really
of it.
hasn't seen it.
Well, I mean,
The
I've
back
had,
of my
like,
eyelids look pretty good.
I have a lot of tests and stuff going on at school, so
That's- yeah.
I had a little gummy with him last night, and we were laughing over the craziest shit just at
That
the
was
beginning,
before-
it
that
even
was bef-
started.
that was on
We
the
was
Roku.
talking about
You're
it.
Like
supposed
home
to eat
screen.
those when you watch the original Dune.
Yeah, the
Well,
original
it
will
was-
mess you up.
I was looking at it. I'm like,
That
why
was
is
the
it? Because I
Roku
don't know
home
anything
screen
about
that was
Dune.
on there.
Right.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
nothing. And so I was like, why is Obi-Wan Kenobi on the front screen there? And he's like, that's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's Jesus. I'm like, okay.
It's about Jesus and
I
Obi-Wan
have no
Kenobi.
clue
Yeah.
about
Yeah, if only.
I don't even know why that was so
So
funny.
Curtis,
at the
if you
time.
weren't
But it was.
in a theater, if you were at home where you had the luxury of walking away from it, would you have?
The new movie?
Yeah.
No.
No, you would have sat there the whole time.
Would you
No,
have took
I-
your time and like got up and got snacks?
Yeah, I do that anyway. It doesn't matter what it
I mean,
is.
if I was
pause it.
home, probably
yeah,
I'd
I
have
pause
the
it to go
luxury of
piss and
getting
go
a
get something
snack.
else to
but-
eat. Or
Yeah, I had a bowl of cereal while I
Yeah.
was sitting there.
I mean, I was at the Alamo. I mean,
You
I
can't
didn't-
pause it there. Yeah.
Can't really pause it, but I enjoyed
Everybody, just stop for a minute.
I-
I'll
I'm
be
gonna take
right
a quick
back.
it. For me
Yeah.
to take a urine break,
We're gonna
I
take a
gotta
quick
release
intermission.
my sandworm. I'll be right back.
One of two things would have happened. They would all have been like throwing stuff like boo, or they all been like, "Oh, thank God, I gotta go too." I'm glad somebody
said it.
stood up because I
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Well-
No, I enjoyed it. I'll just say that.
I'm not
So-
saying that it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I just physically could not sit through
Yeah.
all of it at one time.
I split it up because I had other stuff to do. I watched like the first hour and a half, and then I stopped
Yeah.
and went and did because I had appointments and stuff to do, errands to run, and came back and finished the last hour. And that was probably a pretty good way.
Yeah.
And those times probably aren't exact. I stopped at the end of a scene somewhere about an hour and a half into it, and then came back and finished.
I'm
it
not
up.
like mad at the movie or disgusted. It's just I just
Fuck you, movie. There
It's
goes
like-
my card.
well, if we sit down to watch a movie, it's typically like 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
Watching it till 1 in the morning.
Yeah. So I know. When I get tired, it's like off.
Yeah.
Clink.
Well, we'll talk more about Dune here in a little bit 'cause
Yeah.
it is in our top 5 this week. I do want to thank my co-host for being here today. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the podcast whenever and wherever you are. And thank you to those who are watching along tonight live on the Pop Goes the Culture Facebook page and YouTube channel. We got a great show for you this week. We went live on purpose. We're going to change things up a little bit. If you're a regular listener, we're going to get through all the new and the newsworthy right at the top of the show. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back from the break, we are playing a game called Horrified. I'll just hold up the little thing here in front of these guys.
Yep,
There it is on the camera. I could have done it in front of mine, but I'd rather stick my hand in front of you guys.
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
Smack me around. It's all
And
right.
we will, if you're watching it live right now, you're like, well, that doesn't do anything for me. We're going to, after the break, we will actually turn on the overhead camera so you can see the game board and you can see us playing as well. But we're going to play it. We're kicking off the Halloween weekend playing a board game based on the old Universal Studios monsters. We're going to be playing with Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon tonight. And we'll talk about how that goes after the break. Plus, like I said, we got everything that's new and newsworthy in entertainment and pop culture, kicking it off with our top 5 stories in entertainment and pop culture. Try that again from this week.
Pop
Number
cancer.
5.
Yeah, number 5.
Success.
That's not right at all.
What's going on over there?
At number 5, Blizzard Entertainment has officially canceled BlizzCon 2022. They'd already canceled 2021. They've canceled 2022 now. The statement from the company, quote, "Any BlizzCon event takes every single one of us to make it happen. The entire company effort, fueled by our desire to share what we create with the community that we care so much about. At this time, we feel the energy it would take to put on a show like that is best directed towards making games, lawsuits, towards supporting our teams and progressing development on our games and experiences." That and the lawsuits and not having the Bill Cosby room set up at BlizzCon where they lure female employees.
My favorite.
No, they literally had a picture of Bill. They had a framed picture of Bill Cosby in the room, and that was the joke. It's the Bill Cosby room where they would bring female employees and attendees up to the room to
Kenny apparently
to assault, to harass and assault sexually.
That is for legit, really?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why they are being investigated by so many federal and state law enforcement organizations.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, the Bill Cosby room.
That's
I thought that was
up.
like your joke.
No, that was they legit had the Bill Cosby room at BlizzCon.
Holy hell!
Wow.
Yeah, so that tells you all you need to know about how that's running.
So
Probably a good idea to cancel that for this time around.
Yeah.
maybe for a few years.
Might want to give
maybe
that
from
a
now
decade or
on.
so.
yeah, I don't think
Maybe
there's
just to go ahead and close your doors.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
just make your games and keep a low profile and shut your mouths and
Jeez.
don't harass or assault anybody.
yeah.
Up next,
Number 4.
I had a little spring to it there at the end of that one.
He's
Number
very
4,
excited.
Curtis, you can tell us a little bit more about this. Hasbro has announced Risk Shadow Forces, Risk the board game. This is the spiritual successor to 2011's Risk Legacy. Now, you've played Risk Legacy.
Yeah, I own it.
Okay, tell us a little bit about for those who are unfamiliar with Risk Legacy, how is Risk Legacy different from Risk?
Well, Risk Legacy, basically, there's stuff in our box, or I guess it's mine now. I bought it with my old roommate.
All
but
kinds
now
of stuff in your box.
Yeah. Basically, there's stuff we haven't even opened yet to play with.
Right.
Because, it's hard to find a group of people to play Risk with. But the few times that we have played it, we keep okay, this is the second or third time. Now you get to open up this little envelope, and then you have this to add to your game.
But it's an ongoing game, right?
It's ongoing. It's ever expansive, and you have a little area here, off to the side of the board, where you write down who won the first game and who won the second game. And I won the second game in 4 turns. 4
turns.
3, 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
And so the game continues to adapt every time you play.
And
You don't.
evolve.
It's not starting from scratch every time you play. It continues to evolve as you go. Well, this will be similar. It focuses more on the way they're spinning it. There's more of the collaborative storytelling elements than what Legacy had. So it's set in 2050 in the future, and it's very much everybody has. It's kind of it kind of evens things out. Everybody's got a hero character, and then their armies that they build and stuff around it, and they're taking the stuff that worked for Risk Legacy and keeping that, so that continuing it to evolve, continuing to open new packets as you move through.
Name your land after you've won. So I think I named one Funky Town or something.
There you go. Yeah.
It's fun.
Did you take anybody to Funky Town?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, are we still talking Risk?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I took them all.
All right. So if you're into gaming, it might be something worth checking out. The pre-orders are open right now. The game is expected to release in the fall of 2022. We may have to check that out.
I remember playing Risk, and it would take weeks and weeks to finish the game.
Yeah, if you do it right.
And then our mom would get pissed off that we left it out for so long that she'd just put it all up. So then you just lose
get
everything.
really mad and you'd lose the game.
No, you just don't
No,
play
the game's
anymore.
not out anymore. Yeah, you just I'm not.
You just get
not going
mad
through that.
about it because the game took
Was
so
progressing,
long.
yeah.
I was just saying everybody who's listening lost the game.
All right, fair enough. Hey, Curtis.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Hey, you got to use it.
I had to go out of my way to use it on Curtis, but yes, I wanted to make a point to get that in today. All right, up next.
Number 3.
That's when his life takes a turn.
Number 3 is when the last happy moment. Yes, number 2 is when it starts going downhill. Number 3, Disney announced previously that actor Hayden Christensen would return as Darth Vader for the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. Well, that's not all. Disney's now confirming that Christensen will appear in the Ahsoka series on Disney Plus as well. Word is that he'll be appearing as Anakin Skywalker, either in flashbacks or perhaps as a Force ghost, since they retconned that into the end of
why not?
Return of the Jedi, which makes the most sense because the series takes place after Return of the Jedi. So he's either going to have to be dead or it's going to be flashbacks.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Well, I kind of thought that too a little bit, but I've been talking to a lot of people that I talk that crazy Star Wars stuff with.
Right.
And they all seem to be on board with it. They're like, I guess, I don't know if enough time has passed.
I think so. I think that's the thing, is enough time has passed, because, boy, he took a beating from people with his performances in those first, I guess, second and third movies.
Yeah.
And then we got the new stuff, and everybody's like, let's get that other guy back in here. We thought he was terrible, but he really wasn't that bad, I guess.
Well, there's, and I was talking to a lot of them too. I was like, do you think, there's been so many people do videos on him and explain, okay, this is why he acted like this and this, and
right.
they did really in-depth stuff, and I was like, and a few of them's like, yeah, we actually watched those, and after watching those, we were kind of like, okay, I get it now. And they're like, we went back and rewatched them, like with that knowledge, and they were okay with it. So I was a little surprised that many people was like, yeah, let's do it, get him on there. So
yeah,
good for him.
I would prefer they'd kept the guy from Rogue One. He was a pretty good Darth Vader.
Yeah,
he's the best, most physical Darth Vader that we've seen in any of the movies. Partly because they could do that, because they were just making a story that didn't have to tie into much. I mean, it does, but they're like, just go nuts with it. So I think I would have preferred to have kept Spencer around. But you know what? If he's playing Darth Vader, he doesn't have to do much.
Exactly.
In Obi-Wan's movie, that's going to be, he's going to be in a mask with a cape on, and they're going to bring in James Earl Jones or somebody who does James Earl Jones's voice close enough for animation and video games to voice it over. So the one that's going to be more interesting is what he will do in the Ahsoka show as Anakin Skywalker.
Well, I wonder if they'll try to do something like they did in Rebels, where there was a portal time thing, and that's how they'll do it or something.
They start doing time travel stuff in the Star. I mean, it's enough to do it in a cartoon. If they start pulling that into the live action, I think people are going to be like,
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess so. If he's going to do the ghost stuff, that could be fun.
Yeah,
like if they just let him have a character. Like, don't try to keep him all like wooden and stiff. Like, let him. He's dead. What's he got to live this way? Let him have fun.
More laid back.
Yeah, like no. I'm dead. I don't care.
Yoda got a lot more laid back.
Yoda was a lot more fun when he was dead. Luke was a lot more fun when he was dead. Obi-Wan was kind of a dick all along, but let him have some fun.
Yeah.
Up next, try not to slit your wrists on this.
Number 2.
Number 2 sounded better this week. Number two's having a better week this week.
It sounds like the Sammy Be Good show.
No,
remember when we were stars once?
Oh yeah, we got photos around here somewhere in the room. There it is, over there.
Yeah. When we were on national TV,
not national,
or local
TV.
National.
You say that. You've said that a few times.
National TV.
Hey, if you're on TV at any point,
when you're a kid,
it doesn't matter.
It's out to the whole world.
TV is TV. That's right.
I was on Disney once.
Kind of sounds.
Were you doing what?
I don't know. I was told it was on Disney. We saw the first Lady of Magic when I was a kid in Branson. And apparently it was aired on Disney, but I could be wrong.
He was sitting on Geppetto's lap.
There you go, telling lies.
Yeah.
I'm telling lies like a bad boy, Geppetto. Is that your nose growing, or are you just happy to see me?
Why is Geppetto growing?
Oh, jeez.
That's why. At number 2, we were talking about a little bit earlier at the top of the show, Dune earned $5.1 million last Thursday night in previews and went on to take the top spot at the box office last weekend, earning $41 million. The film was released same day and date on HBO Max. That's where I saw it. And became the biggest opening for director Denis Villeneuve. And
you're welcome, Denis.
And for a Warner Brothers film released on HBO Max on the same day. It was their biggest opening as well. It becomes the 4th movie this month to debut at the number 1 spot in the month of October. Every week, somebody new is taking the number 1 spot. We'll see if that keeps up this week or not. The film has earned more than $200 million worldwide, which is enough to give us the official green light on Dune Part 2. They will make a second one. I think that is my biggest complaint with this movie, is that
it just ended.
It not only did it just end, it just ended in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
It should have ended, I guess that would have been a scene or two ahead of the ending. Should have ended with the big worm that we've all seen in the previews coming up.
Yeah.
That would have been a great spot to end it.
That's where it was.
I did too. And I was like, man, they've got 20 minutes of credits left.
Yeah.
Nope, they got 20 minutes. They got 15 minutes of movie left. I think that's the only, because it was a part 1. It's a big project, and this did all the heavy lifting. It set up the world building and all that, and then it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, that's all the time and budget we have for this one.
Denny had to go take a bathroom break.
hopefully we'll see you next time. And we did. We're going to get a part 2, which was always kind of out there. Like, hey, if we're going to do a part 1, we just got to do it. It's got to be making enough money to justify a part 2.
They took a real risk.
They
with
did.
If you
this film.
label
a movie as part 1 right at the beginning,
yeah, then
yeah, because
what if it bombs?
Well, that's the thing. Like when they made the Lord of the Rings movies, they're like, we're all in for 3. We're going to film 1, and then we're going to do 2 and 3 like together. Yeah. So like they were in for a penny, in for a pound. This one's like, well, we'll see. We're going to do 1. If it does well enough.
It's like, listen, have you know about Dune's track record, right?
It's not done. Yeah.
Well, these are uncertain times.
They surely are.
It might have helped it.
Well, yeah, I think there was some leeway, some grace given. Like, hey, it's a pandemic. We're putting this thing out on HBO Max at the same time. I think the word of mouth has done more to get part 2 greenlit than the actual numbers are.
Cool. Maybe I'll see the other third of this movie.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, maybe
before the part 2 starts.
Yeah.
Problem is, now Villanueva's getting greedy. He wants to make 3 films. He wants to use part 2 to adapt the second half of the first book, and then he wants to take the sequel book, the next book of many. There's a ton of books out there involving Dune. He wants to make a 3rd movie adapting that book.
I'm sure
Dune
he does.
Messiah.
If it does well, why not?
Yeah.
I'm sure he would like to have people put money into his bank account to do this.
That's the thing, is they've got the assets built, right? It's all digital stuff, and they've got those built in the computer now. So all you got to do is pull up, hey, we need this again, or we need that again. So the bulk of the digital creation is done. Which may help get this movie out a little sooner, hopefully.
Right.
At this point, it's really whatever the cost, the actors, crew, all that stuff.
What do you think of the actors in the movie?
I thought they were pretty. I don't know that that's what you need in a Dune movie, but
I don't know. What's his name? Chalamet?
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah,
he was kind of
dry,
but I also felt like they picked like the perfect person to play Oscar Isaac's son in a way. In some shots,
Yeah,
he just looked like a young Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, no, I think the whole cast had good chemistry. I think Jason Momoa steals the movie.
Well, yeah, he does.
Every scene he's in, he's the star of the movie.
He has a better outcome.
Yeah.
Than the original movie.
Yeah. So it's his movie quietly stealing the movie.
The thing that I was baffled on was the thing I remember, because I've never read the book, but the thing I remember about the first movie, even I just rewatched it just a few months ago, with the original movie. More character development with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And there was not a lot in this.
No, there wasn't. There's a main bad guy who's not even been on screen yet.
Yeah.
So they've got to cast that for the next half. This movie does something that the first movie didn't do. The first movie did a lot of voiceovers because in a book you can do that. In a book you can write what people are thinking. In a movie you can't really do that. So the first movie, the David Lynch movie from '84, does a lot of voiceover work. You've got Paul talking over. Yeah. This one instead doesn't do it vocally. They do it with a lot of like imagery. So it's very much a visual kind of artsy cinematic thing. So I dug that approach to how they told that.
Yeah.
If they'd done a bunch of whispering throughout this movie, I don't know, that would have sat for 2.5 hours of whispering. But who knows?
Yeah.
And finally, at
number 1.
Yeah,
number 1,
I'd be down too.
So this has been the big story for the last week. Last week, Alec Baldwin discharged a firearm, a prop firearm that contained a live round of ammunition on the set of the movie Rust, which injured the 48-year-old writer and director Joel Souza, and it killed the 42-year-old director of photography Helena Hutchins. Following the accident, there's been investigations. We've had all kinds of stories hit about the crew members involved, the production company, the shortcuts that were taken, some of the things that were done prior to the day that will live in infamy. The shoot shut down for now. Baldwin has come out and said, it was an accident. He's sorry. He's trying to support the family that she left behind. Other folks have gotten involved. This reminds a lot of people when Brandon Lee was killed on the set of The Crow. His fiance at the time has come out and said there's no reason this should ever happen again. So there's been a lot of stuff about this.
That was my reaction when my friend at work told me about it. I was like, they didn't learn their fucking lesson the first time?
Clearly not.
Dropping my F-bomb again.
There you go. You got yours out. So you have done production on a number of short films.
Yeah.
Kind of take us through, and some of them have involved firearms.
Yeah.
Kind of talk us through what goes on to make sure that a firearm does not discharge a live round of ammunition during a shoot.
Well, most of the ones that I've done, they've been fake.
Right.
That is the safest way to go about it. Is just
it's not a real firearm.
Use a real gun whatsoever. We live in the age of CGI. You can put muzzle flashes in. Mm-hmm. You can put cartridges coming out. You have that. So play it safe. But I remember one film that I was on, we used a real rifle, but I was shown, opened up, nothing's in it. Here you go. This is cocked back, and there's nothing in this that could potentially hurt somebody. And even with that, it's just you're not going to point this at anybody. Right. Even though I was shown it's empty, just don't point it at anybody.
Yeah.
Unless it's in the scene. Even then, I don't know. I have my reservations. I'm I'm going to point it at you, but the camera it's not going to know that I'm a little bit to the left.
Right.
That I'm not actually pointing it at somebody. Just there's ways to play it safe, and there's ways to do it efficiently. And yeah, it was kind of shocking just to hear about it. And it's this has happened before. Why be so careless now?
Yeah.
Is there a reason to actually have live ammunition? In
the industry, and Curtis can correct me if I'm wrong, live ammunition doesn't necessarily mean a bullet. It could mean a blank as well.
It could mean
anything that would go bang inside the chamber.
Something
of a firearm.
Sometimes they'll put cartridges just so that when you fire it, the cartridge
will kick out.
out.
Okay.
But sometimes there's debris, which happened with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, it was debris in the barrel. No one checked it.
Nobody cleaned out the barrel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stories out from people that have walked off, union crew members that walked off that day because they felt the set was unsafe, and so the production company hired non-union crew members to come in. There's talk about the person whose job it is. There's a person on set on even an indie film like this, the armorer, whose job is to secure firearms before they go out, talking about how that was a non-union rookie that was brought in who didn't do their job. Yeah. There's talk about other films that some of these crew members had been on that had safety concerns raised in the past. There's a lot of stuff. Certainly that doesn't appear to be anything malicious, but that doesn't bring anybody back from the dead.
Right.
Accidents happen, but if it's a preventable thing, and it sounds like it should have been.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's preventable because you don't hear about this happening on every movie set. There was a rumor for a while that they actually some of the crew had taken the firearm that was used out target shooting the day before. So there's all kinds of stuff, rumors and stories and innuendos. We're not going to spread that stuff, but it's a sad thing, and it's totally preventable. And like you said, for most movies, even indie films, have some CG budget because there's stuff you're going to fix,
right?
Even in post, there's going to be things that happen. You're going to fix them.
I directed a short that we did with no money, and
it still has CG.
It still has there's a flash that we put in with Adobe After Effects. It costs nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that it's sad all around. So our thoughts are with those involved, and that's got to be something. The crew that was there had to sit there and watch their director of photography bleed out. Obviously, Alec Baldwin shot somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna have to live with that for
even
now.
Even though
he's an ass.
He's an ass, but I mean that I don't think he's that much of an ass to where he's like
not feeling
whoops,
this.
Look,
Yeah,
it happened. My bad.
As long as it doesn't impact my career.
No, exactly. I think he does genuinely and sincerely have remorse for what's happened.
Right.
And so I mean he's affected, and of course her family's affected.
Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
Terrible stuff.
Well, my thing, there's several political people making it political and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and,
there are elected officials who have looked for any reason to jump on the bandwagon,
and I'm like, okay, this, like, you go back to what's his nuts that shot the guy, Cheney.
that shot somebody hunting.
Yeah.
Hunting accident.
He got hurt, but he didn't die.
Right.
And so, okay, they gave it some time, made fun of it because no one died.
Yeah.
It's still a bad deal, but blah, blah. In this case, someone died and another person took that same bullet at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, really, that day
You've
got to
be out there,
and make it political and blah, blah, stuff like that.
Know
It's
your
like,
elected officials and where they stand. Just follow them on Twitter. They'll show their ass sooner or later. Every one of them on both sides.
To have a junior already had T-shirts that day made and stuff. It's like, really? Someone died.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't like the person. Maybe they made fun of your father or whatever that case was.
Yeah, on Saturday Night Live.
On Saturday Night Live. But at the same time, someone died.
Yeah.
Have some respect for that. Then, if you want to bust balls, whatever. But still remember, someone died.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different thing. And people are like, same thing. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
A young lady lost her life.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
So,
she was a mother. She was a wife. She was a daughter. And she's dead now.
Yep.
And it's not something for anybody to jump on and be an asshole about.
like Joey says, remember that when you vote.
Go to vote. Yeah. And in other news, so this is an odd case. When you think of Pornhub, you probably think of what?
Porn.
Well, it's in the name.
Dusty and Jess.
Yeah, exactly.
Boobs.
As much as they talked about it, that's every time cracks me up.
I don't know anything about it.
For good
never heard of
reason.
it.
Apparently, Pornhub is a website that is just full of porn. So what I've understood here.
Oh.
However, it's not completely full of porn. One math teacher named Shang Su noticed that something was missing from Pornhub. Math.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's no math on Pornhub.
That's not true.
Well, not anymore.
Pretty sure there was some chalkboards with some math problems on there. I'm not.
1 + 2 = 3. There's plenty of that on there.
He says, quote, since very few people teach math on adult video platforms, and since there are so many people who watch videos on them, I thought that if I uploaded my videos there, a lot of people would see them, is what he told Mel Magazine. He has tried taking his lessons to other adult platforms like X videos, but those sites apparently don't allow non-adult clips. Pornhub, however, let you post whatever the hell you want on there. So if you want to post your math lessons on Pornhub, go right ahead.
I'm looking this up right now.
Go ahead. I'll hand you this thing.
Jenny
I can read it.
has
That's a lot of
one
TikToks
penis.
on-
3 more people show up. How many penises does Jenny have?
Under the handle Shang Su Math 666, all one word, because he's the devil. The 34-year-old math teacher's verified account has netted over 1.7 million views and features the slogan on his channel, play hard, study hard.
Okay, I gotta see if I spell this because
Yeah, I'll give it to you here in a second.
They're like, I like the title. Let's see what this is all about.
Each video is surrounded with ads of things like live sex, but in Shang Shu's videos, the only explicit things are the numbers. He appears in clip after clip in his gray hoodie and glasses, carefully explaining things like the differential methods and in his native Mandarin. He speaks Chinese. Many people may not be interested in my videos, but they all know there's a teacher who teaches calculus on an adult video platform, he said. By his estimation, well over half of his viewers come for just the novelty of seeing hard math taught on Pornhub. Hard math taught on Pornhub. That does that mean then that the rest of his viewers are deliberately choosing to learn calculus from him on Pornhub? The goal is for viewers to sign up for Shang Shu's online course, which nets him $250,000 a year, which he uses to pay his staff and produce more math videos. He says, I don't want to teach math on Pornhub. I just want to let the world know that I'm a teacher from Taiwan who can teach calculus well. And apparently, that's a great place to let people know. You pulled up Shang Tsu's Pornhub video.
I have pulled it up, and it's
666, by golly.
Yeah, let's.
Oddly enough, in the comments, several thousand went ahead and completed while they were watching him.
Well,
so.
there you go.
Like, well, I'm here.
But
Did you complete the course? I completed.
There's always a video you gotta watch after the video.
That's
you
the
might
cleanup
as well just
video.
learn a little math.
Killed my brain with a little porno. Let's get some math in on
I mean,
it.
It's just him teaching math in
it's
Chinese.
3 minutes of him teaching math, and then if you scroll down, you get the other.
whatever stimulates you. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe that can be turned into something.
Maybe that's a fetish.
It could be. You're like, yeah, you teach that math.
Math teacher fetish. Maybe so.
Yeah, teach me.
Now,
Honey, get the lube out. We're gonna be watching
there was like some
math.
skimpy gal up there teaching the math.
No, he's
You wouldn't be
onto
learning the
something.
math.
Yeah,
in a
he's onto
hoodie.
something.
He's just.
Yeah,
in
he's
like
not using his website or his Pornhub channel to get anybody else over.
He's
all about
just
him.
in a hoodie.
Hey, he made the news and people are talking
got
about it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, he is
has
fully
clothes.
clothed.
He
yeah.
has clothes on, so
The most clothed
doesn't
math
deter
teacher on
people.
Pornhub.
Give it like another month. He'll
Yeah,
get there.
when the tips start, the tip jar starts filling up.
his
Like,
hoodie
hey
will
now,
come off first.
You give me a tip, I'll give you a
I'll
tip.
show you the tip.
Oh Lord.
Well, let us know what you think are the top stories each and every week. If we use your suggestion, we'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. Send us your suggestions on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for and follow us at PGTC Podcast and post your comments and tag us in the news stories there. Or you can call the hotline at 417-986-7842 and leave a message with your comments. We just might play them
For the love
on
of
an upcoming
God,
episode.
will someone call that hotline? It's been
I call it
forever.
every day. Nobody ever.
Nobody ever answers.
Yeah.
Well, leave a recorded
Which
message.
hotline are you calling?
Pornhub. The math help
The math.
Pornhub hotline.
He's looking for Chang Su.
Is this Shang Tsu's hotline? I got a question about calculus.
Does our hotline spell like come soon? Because that's what I'm calling. Is that the right one?
No, that's not us. Links to all that and more at popgoestheculture.com. Coming up this week in entertainment and pop culture, this weekend, Fan Expo Denver Special Edition is running through Sunday, Halloween, the 31st. Today, this Friday, Last Night in Soho and Antlers are both new in theaters this week.
I'm supposed to go see Last Night in Soho this weekend.
Do any one of those take the top spot? Do we make it 5 for 5, or does Dune or something that's already
I
released take
think
the top
Dune
spot?
is going to continue.
Yeah. Those are
Those are smaller films for sure,
Yeah.
Last Night in Soho might
right?
get close. Antlers, I don't know. That seems like
That's
very
a pretty small,
yeah.
pretty niche. Also on Netflix today, Army of Thieves, the prequel.
I'm going to be watching it.
Are you?
Yeah. I love the Army of the Dead. I thought that was pretty good.
I guess
show,
he's going to
so-
make another film after this, like a sequel to Army of the Dead.
Yeah,
So
it's got my attention. I'll watch
they
it.
keep writing the checks. He keeps making the movies.
I'll watch them.
And Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin on Paramount Plus for the people who are just
I haven't
dying
seen
to see another
any
one of those.
The Paranormal Activity.
I don't think you're missing much.
Yeah,
from
one
what I
of them
understand.
Alabama
I think I watched that
shows, or-
first one.
I don't know.
I watched the first one, but it was the riff tracks of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This Saturday is National Candy Corn Day.
Yeah.
We know what everybody thinks about candy corn. We know what our
F-word that.
listeners and followers on social media think about candy corn. This Sunday is Halloween. It kicks off 3 days of the Day of the Dead. It's a 3-day celebration to our friends to the south. Halloween kicks it off. Of course, there's the trick-or-treats and all that stuff that goes on. Also, the final 6-part Doctor Who series kicks off on BBC America on Sunday. They're doing a global live event at like 1:30 in the afternoon or something. If you want to watch it at the same time the British folks are, tune in the middle of the day on Sunday.
Well, I'm
We
at
didn't
work.
say what we were doing this Saturday.
Yeah,
You're hitting the ball, aren't you?
Yes.
Monster Ball.
Yes. This
Just
guy
bell
went
the
and
ball.
Got a tuxedo.
I rented a $250 tuxedo
Holy
to
gosh.
go to the Monster Ball.
Yes.
What are you going as in a tuxedo?
Try to have at least
Phantom.
$300 worth.
guy with
Phantom.
$250 to buy a tuxedo.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Make sure you take care of that tuxedo.
it's going to be pretty snazzy.
She bought
And I have a
really
dress,
nice
a
dress.
formal dress that I'm wearing. Mine's going to be like a masquerade
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, but it's going to be awesome.
There you go.
I'm not
fancy time. We don't get to dress up very often.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of why we went all out.
Yep. No, I hear you.
I mean, when you dress up once every decade.
You might as well dress it up.
Yeah, you might as
right.
well spend a little money.
Well, outside the bedroom.
You guys need some photos, like
Nobody dressed
Actually,
down.
we were actually talking about how we were wanting to
Like
get
prom photos.
like
Yeah.
photos of us because I mean, like, you know,
Well, there you go.
What time you going? Just let me know.
it starts at 7
We'll be there at 10:30.
At the
at the Shrine Mosque.
at the shrine. Oh, okay.
They've got over 700 people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
a
going.
lot of tickets.
It's a catered event too.
Yeah,
Nice.
big time. Big time.
They do.
Next Monday, All Saints Day, still part of the Day of the Dead. And then, of course, the Day of the Dead, All Souls Day, is next Tuesday. Also next Tuesday on Blu-ray and DVD, Paw Patrol the movie. I know you guys will be lining up to get that one.
I was waiting for that.
Be at Walmart at midnight for the Midnight Madness
Better
release of
leave
Paw
it.
Patrol the movie. Also on Blu-ray this week, Pig, starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I might
I
watch
haven't seen it.
I hear it's something else.
I hear it's
His-
very sincere.
I watched the trailer.
Have you?
Yeah, you watched
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah. It's,
If you guys check it out, let us know what you thought of it.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I don't
I'm-
know if we'll watch it or
I don't
not.
know if it's that kind of
Yeah.
material.
Oh,
We
speaking-
watched.
Oh, go ahead.
Started season 2 of Lock and Key. It's a good.
Did you check it out?
Did you ever watch the first
Yeah, I
season?
watched the first season when it came out.
Season 2 is pretty good.
Is it?
too.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Pig only at theaters or is it on?
I don't think it was ever in theaters. It's on Blu-ray and DVD, but it came out. It was released during the COVID, like when theaters were technically open.
Because I
but
didn't
yeah.
remember it coming out. I thought.
Yeah, no, it was out like in the spring or early summer.
Okay.
But it was part of that whole like, yeah, we're open if you get here.
Okay.
Between 5 and 7 on a Thursday.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. There's the
Speaking-
one showing of the week. Go ahead.
Speaking of trailers, during Dune, or before Dune, they showed the Batman trailer. Not the one they just released, but the one
Right.
before that has the Nirvana song.
Right.
I'd seen that one already, and I was just kind of like, whatever. I don't know. Watching it in the theater, I'm kind of sold a little bit. I'm not sold on his look
Right.
as the Batman, but I'm kind of sold on the movie just a bit more. Just seeing it on the big screen.
Watching that year-old trailer again.
Yeah.
I was like,
Watch-
now I'm in.
Now I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm into this
I
a little
get that
bit.
totally. I can't remember what it was, but they were playing them because again,
Yeah.
nobody was going, quarantine stuff. But I had seen a trailer and I was like, I remember seeing this like on my phone,
Right.
and being like, who cares?
Yeah.
But now seeing it with all the sound and just everything, I was like, this looks pretty good. I was like, am I that person? Am I there? It's like, yeah, show
Clearly,
me.
you're the guy. Show him that old trailer. We need to cut a new one.
And I want some M&Ms and Coke too. What's going on?
Let's go.
Oh, I
out
can
to the-
recline back?
No, wait.
I think he'll do fine. As
I think
Batman.
it'll do fine. I don't think it's going to be any good, but that's just my opinion. What do I know?
Curtis
I haven't
and
seen
I are
it.
marketers' wet dreams, apparently.
There you
Yeah.
go. We'll all watch it, I'm
Harry
sure.
Potter fans will be back in like you.
Yeah, I don't know. Next Wednesday is National Sandwich Day, which begs the question, what's your favorite sandwich? Curtis?
I don't know.
Oh, you do too? You've got to have a favorite sandwich. It's National Sandwich Day on Wednesday.
Sandwich?
Well, cold sandwich, hot sandwich.
Doesn't matter. What's your favorite sandwich?
For me, it'll be peanut butter and jelly because I've eaten like tens of thousands of
It's
them.
a classic.
I
Yeah.
like just a good old fashioned like bacon, egg, sausage sandwich.
That's good,
like I
too.
make those.
Bacon,
at work.
egg, and sausage?
Mine'd be
Double-
bacon
Trying to
and cheese.
die.
Yeah,
Trying to
yes,
die at
cholesterol
40.
is-
Is a
okay.
McGriddle a sandwich?
Yeah, McGriddle's a sandwich. Yeah, it's a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna say like chicken bacon ranch or something like Subway sandwich.
Cold cuts are pretty good.
Minus
Cold
the
cut
ranch.
combo.
Yeah, I don't ever put the ranch.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know
Cold
why.
cut combo seems like a waste of your money.
Well, if you make it
I don't know
yourself.
why. It's just
Yeah.
vegetable shit. And it's just like nothing, no ham, no.
I don't know. There's a sandwich that I like and all of the kids like. Panera Bread has it. It's a Mediterranean sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
That one
That's pretty
is.
good.
I mean, the kids love it. I made it at home.
Mediterranean
and
veggie? Yeah.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it
with
is.
not having meat on it, it's like super fucking healthy. Sorry, F-bombed.
There you go. You dropped yours. I
Done.
think we're 3 out of 5. Dusty and
I
Kenny
haven't
still
said
holding
one.
theirs. Yeah.
We'll hold on to them.
We
Good
You'll
job.
need him for the
you know
game.
what? Last time I
Yeah,
was
we'll
here, I
use it for
didn't
the
use
game.
my
I know,
card.
I know.
So, but no, I mean, it is really good. You don't have any meat on the sandwich. It's
Yeah.
all healthy veggies and
Boo.
That's
There's
good
a couple
sandwich.
of
But it's
McAllister
delicious.
sandwiches that are really good.
Boo.
no, you got to try it. You never think that. You'd be like, you think, oh.
I think I tried
it-
yours one time.
you-
It was good.
Yeah, you've ate.
I bet you guys do a lot of sandwiches, right?
What do you mean by that?
What does that mean?
You try a lot
Yeah,
of
well, I
sandwiches.
was like, where exactly are you going?
But you
with
guys
this?
do a lot of sandwiches, don't you?
Yeah, you
Huh?
do.
Sandwich people, aren't you? Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
What
What's
kind of
going
What
on?
kind of meat do you guys use?
Jeez. I think
Bologna.
it's
Wiener, is that what you want to hear,
Fried
Wiener?
bologna and cheese.
Fried bologna and cheese is a good sandwich.
Actually, is
Yeah.
egg and
With pepper
fried
jack
bologna.
cheese, it's a lot better.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Classic BLT as well.
Nope.
No,
No.
I use lettuce actually, so never. Or,
When I was a
not
kid, I was
lettuce,
poor.
Spinach. So
My parents
that's
were
not a
poor,
BLT.
and I had that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a week. No thanks.
Ham on hand.
That's a sandwich.
I've had a lot of
like
the,
that.
It has
I
to be
had a lot of
between
those
two
sandwiches.
pieces of bread to be a sandwich, right?
It was a kid.
So a grilled
No,
cheese.
you can do one that's folded over. We've done plenty of those in our day too.
just put it
Peanut butter and honey. And
yeah.
I used to
Peanut
do
butter and
cheese
honey.
and
K-Rose
mayonnaise.
sandwich.
Yeah, peanut butter and Cairo
peanut
corn
butter
syrup.
and honey still good. I still have that every once in a while.
Biscuits and
Peanut
gravy
butter
was
and
not
syrup.
biscuits. It was bread with gravy on it.
Yeah.
That
With
was
gravy.
Yes,
What
that
kind of
was
sandwich is that?
poor people
Bread and
sandwich.
gravy sandwich. What are you talking
Is
about?
it brown gravy or white gravy?
Yep.
Yes.
My brother and I tried a peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. I
Ew.
hated it.
Ugh, that
Brad
sounds
loved
Well,
it.
you should.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
That's just
Why
nasty.
would you do that to peanut butter?
I don't know.
Are your arteries okay?
No,
I'm
no,
guessing
I'm fine.
not.
Look, I eat a lot of veggies.
Do you have
I'm
any?
good.
Are you having any
Peanut
chest
butter
pains?
and
It goes up
mayonnaise
to your
sandwich.
jaw, down to
Good.
your
My
arm.
left arm
Okay.
went
I
numb.
love
Let's
peanut
do
butter.
this.
But if if I watched you eat that sandwich, I would puke. Like I would actually.
I
throw
took a
up.
bite and I'm like, this is
just
disgusting.
slap it out of
Brad
your
ate
hand.
it.
Just slap that.
That shit down.
The whole intervention.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And next Thursday, we'll be back here in the studio recording a whole bunch of stuff for November. Starting off, it's a short month with Thanksgiving in there, but we got new stuff every week. We'll be recording that starting next Thursday. Look for another brand new episode of the Pop Goes the Culture podcast in your podcast player next Friday.
Putting it
We're gonna
right in there.
There you go. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we are playing Horrified. If you're watching the live stream, we're going to turn on the overhead camera so you can watch and play along with us. You can chat along in the comments there on Facebook and on YouTube. We can see the chats. So talk to us while we're playing here. Plus, we're gonna actually no plus nothing. We're gonna do all that right after this. All right, folks that are watching along, we are gonna be taking a short break to refill our coffee cups and get set up here, and then we'll be right back.
You know the chat saves on there forever, right?
Is that a warning?
Just letting you know.
Obviously, if I eat a sandwich,
I'm gonna eat some napkins. Hey, we're back.
and we're back.
Hey, we're back. All right,
We're back.
I need to pull up the timer so I can see where we're at.
I'm stuck in the hole.
Oh, not heard that before.
Whoa, hey now.
Me too. I mean, no,
We just talked about sandwiches.
All right,
Sandwiches.
We'll come back in at 55:30 on the timer here.
I thought you didn't need to wear glasses anymore.
I do to read these
Just read that
cards.
tiny card.
And we get to see him do the old man thing where
I
he
know,
cuts
I
it
know.
down.
I can't.
It's really-
I can't
it's really
see
sexy,
you,
just
but
so
I
you
can.
know.
But I can see this card.
There you go.
like
All
a-
right, we're back.
It's a glimpse into Dusty's life when he's 40 years older.
We'll come
I'm
back at
actually
45.
85. I don't age.
All right, here we go. Coming back in 5, 4, 3. All right, we are kicking off the Halloween weekend by playing a game called Horrified. If you are watching on the live stream or if you want to go back and watch our YouTube channel or our Facebook page later, the video will still be up. This is how we're playing. You can see we've got the, I'm trying to figure out my orientation here. So there it is. We've got right there in the middle of the screen, the overhead cameras on so you can see the game board. Thank you, Curtis, for pointing. Vanna with the big finger there.
You're welcome.
Oh,
So
Big
I was
finger.
trying to figure out what he's doing. I forgot we had
yeah,
the-
we got the overhead on.
Sorry.
You can see it right there on the monitor. All right, so the way this
I know,
works,
when
there's
people-
Dust. The way this works is, yeah, everybody put your hand. There you go. All right, the way this game works,
We're
you
children.
you each have a hero, and your heroes have to defeat the two monsters that are on the board. The two monsters on the board are the creature from the Black Lagoon and Dracula.
Oh.
The way you defeat the creatures is this. First of all, for the creature from the Black Lagoon, you will actually, I'll draw this here in a second, you will get items that you can use to advance this boat on the creature's card here to the creature's lair. Once you're at the creature's lair, you can play one of these. You actually have to play 3 of these items that are in this bag. They are different colors. Doesn't matter what they're worth. You just play. Once you're at the lair, you get on the same space as the creature, you go back to the camp where it's marked up there, and play one of each of the colored items, and that defeats the creature, runs him off. Creature's off the board. To defeat Dracula, as you'll notice, there are coffins on the game board here in certain spots. You have to destroy the 4 coffins. And then once you have destroyed the 4 coffins, confront Dracula wherever he happens to be, and then you can defeat him playing yellow items. We got to pull a dozen items out of
I
this
feel
bag.
like I'm pretty safe, right
where you're
smack
sitting?
in the middle.
I'm not.
You're on a bit of a timer. Across the top there, you see that's the timer. Every time a hero gets defeated, knocked down, you don't get taken off the board.
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated. Or a villager. There are opportunities for some villagers we've got here to enter the game board. Anytime a hero or villager gets incapacitated, that slider moves a little bit further when it reaches what would be 7. That's the end of the game. If you
Yeah.
have not defeated the 2 villains by then, the 2 monsters by then, you done.
us.
You've defeated you, by golly. We're going to pull 12 items out of this item bag.
Well,
I'm
we
just
just
going to
gotta
pull
wait
a
for
random 1, 2,
sunrise to get rid of
3,
Dracula,
4.
so we're-
No,
Why not?
5, 6, 7, 8.
And then we maybe take the other guy to a
9,
desert
10.
type place or something.
Ooh,
11, 12.
Yeah.
All right, let's put these 12 items
Keep the bottle of
on,
water away from him.
on the board here.
You knocked your villagers over.
Killed
That's
some
right. They're right
villagers.
there. Yeah, well, I'm gonna move that slider now.
One of them was Tommy Doyle.
Wow, who's the real monster now,
the
Joey?
monster. The real monster was us all along. All right, so take a look at these items and let's put them where they go on the map. You can look at the bottom; it'll tell you where to put them. So let's see. This is the
What?
Institute.
Here, I'll stand up here and I'll.
You see the
Place
there's
the items.
Institute.
Place
Yep.
the items.
Camp. We put this over there on the camp where the green character is. The tower. The Institute again. Where'd the Institute go? Right there. Here it is. You can stick it there with it. The docks. We got cards.
Our character needs to
place.
eat some
Barn.
sandwiches.
There's the barn. There's the barn.
It's looking a little thin.
Institute again. Wow. And there's a theater if you want to do that one. Okay, so what we'll do is we take turns this game. So what we'll do is we'll start with Curtis. Curtis will take his turn. When Curtis's turn ends, I will play for the monsters, and that will give them their turn.
Okay.
And then Kenny will get his turn, and then the monsters get a turn. Jess gets a turn, the monsters get a turn. Dusty gets a turn, the monsters get a turn. And we go around the table like that.
So you are the real monster.
So on your turn, for example, Curtis, you have the Explorer.
Yes.
Your Explorer can take 3 actions.
Dora the Explorer.
On this little card here, Dora, it lines out the actions you can take. You can move 1 tile. You can only move on land. You cannot move in the water.
Okay.
You can move, or you can, if there are villagers on the board, you can move with villagers. You can bring villagers closer to you. If you're on a space where there is items to pick up, you can pick up all the items as 1 action.
Okay.
You can, if you're breaking a coffin or whatever, you can use that. Break a coffin as an action. You can defeat a monster. That's an action, or you can use your special ability, which is on your character badge there, as an action. Your character gets 3 actions. Again, what you need to do is pick up items and then discard items to move this boat, so that you can defeat the creature, or get to the coffins. The coffins have a 6+ red. You need to have red items that total 6 or more to bust that coffin.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
I'm
Yes.
confused.
It'll make sense as we get to playing.
All right. Well,
All right, Curtis, what are you gonna do?
well, since I'm already in here and I got this thing, I'm going to take this.
So there's 1 action. You're gonna take that item.
Take that and even.
So your character has 3 actions and you just
Correct.
did 1.
He
I just
used
did
1.
one.
Yep.
Right.
So I can place my hero in any non-water space.
You use your special.
Is that a special action?
That's your special action. That just means that you can use that action.
Oh, okay. Is that part of my 3?
That's part of that would be part of your 3.
Okay. So I'm just going to move. Does it move like that?
That would be 1. Yep.
1.
So you've made 2 actions so far. You took stuff and you've moved a space.
Yes. And I'm going to go here.
Go in there.
There's 3.
And you all also have a perk card in front of you. You can play a perk card anytime one of the heroes is playing. So at any point, if it's Curtis's turn and you're like, I want to play this, you can play that perk card, and whatever happens there, we'll do it out. If it's a monster's turn, you can't play a perk card while I'm monstering. So Curtis, you have finished your turn, correct?
Yes.
First hero turn is out. Curtis has picked up an item and moved it a little bit. Now it's the monster turn. I draw a monster card. And I do what it says. It says the insane survivor Renfield goes. Well, first of all, the number at the top is 3, so I got to draw 3 items out of the item bag.
There you go.
Was that 3?
That's 4.
That's 4. I'll put 1 back. 3 items. If you would help me put these where they go. There's a tower.